Hi and welcome to another free.volous episode. Happy New Year, or if it's not a new year for you, happy day. I hope you're all well, and let's start 2023 gently and slowly with just a roundup of empties. My most recent empties. If you don't know, that's when I go through products that I've used up, so start to finish, and I give you my full report on how it was for me to use them up. And usually we have a mix of new discoveries and old favorites that I can't stop repurchasing. So let's jump into it, shall we? First product, it's a shower cream. It's called Yummy Custard by Lush. And I really enjoyed using this to the point where I'm concerned that this may have been a limited edition product for the winter time and not a new addition to their, standard collection of products, and that I'm not going to be able to repurchase. So that's a concern. How was the experience? Amazing. This is a cream, but when you put it on your sponge, it just foams up, and it is a very thick, luscious foam lather, and it's delightful. And what I loved the most, as you do with Lush products, was the scent, which it smells of burnt caramel. It's sweet and warm at the same time, and the warmth tones down the sweetness a bit. So I love this. We'll see if I can repurchase it again. If I can find it, it will be linked in my blogs as usual. Next up, cleanser. This one, an old favorite. We all know about this one if you watch any of my skincare videos. This is the Paula's Choice Omega Plus Complex Cleansing Balm. This is probably my all-time favorite cleansing balm. Probably. Very highly likely. I've loved this for years. I mean, this basically combines the best of two worlds that I really, really love, which are, one, the luxurious experience, sensorial experience of a product. And this has a thickness and a slip to it that feels so luxurious on the skin. It's delightful. It is really, really pleasant to use, and yeah, at the same time it doesn't have fragrance, which would be for many people the added luxury element of it. But for me, this brings in the other side of the other world that I was talking about, which is being amazing for when my skin is extremely sensitive. For instance, when I'm doing laser treatments the week after, my skin goes berserk, and I can still use this. There's nothing, at least for me and for my skin, in this formula that irritates my skin in any way. And fragrance would be something that in my very aggravated skin days I wouldn't go for at all. And at the same time, not only that, but it melts anything that you have on your skin, even heavy makeup, so easily. You don't need lots of rubbing on your skin, which is something that when your skin is sensitized, you really don't want to do. You don't have to with this one. And plus, it rinses clean so easily just with water, so you don't have to use a washcloth if you don't want to. It will rinse clean easily, which again, less friction on your skin, which is amazing. And by saying it rinses clean, by the way, I don't mean it's going to feel stripping or drying on your skin. It doesn't at all, but it doesn't leave a film either, which for some people would make you go and use either a washcloth to remove the product completely and have a little bit more of exfoliation, or if you want to, sometimes you use a second cleanser that is water-based to just remove that little extra film if you're concerned. It doesn't have to happen with this product. So all in all, for me, this is the ultimate luxurious experience. Yes, it doesn't have fragrance, but for me, I don't need it to feel like a luxury kind of cleansing balm. I've repurchased this times on end. I don't know how many bottles. I have another one in my bathroom counter as we speak. I can't be without this, especially on my highly sensitized days. This is the one that I go for. So yeah, Huge favorite. Of course, I repurchased. Now, talking about luxurious experiences, but this time with a fragrance, this is the Evolve Gentle Cleansing Melt. This is delightful. I love the smell, which is the most subjective thing ever, so you may not like the smell. I really enjoy this smell. It's super light and fresh without being vulgar in a way, maybe. But anyway, it has a bit of vanilla, but it's not a sickly sweet vanilla at all. It's a fresh vanilla, which is difficult to find. But anyway, the texture of this is amazing. It is kind of like an oil, a gel that becomes an oil almost. It feels like it's going to drag on your skin, but then it just has a slip, and it's fine, and it's amazing to work onto the skin. And yes, you can use some water to make it into a milk, or you can remove it with a washcloth. I personally think this does leave a little bit of a film, which some people with dry skin may love, but I prefer to go in with a water-based cleanser afterwards to remove. It's an amazing product. This is my second or third jar that I've bought, and I love trying out new cleansers. But this is one that I've returned to several times. Problem is, it stopped being sold in one of my favorite stores, and I don't feel like going hunting for it. Yeah, so I don't know if I will repurchase it soon, you know. But other than that, love it, highly recommend it. Next product is a serum, Summer Fridays CC Me Serum. This was, I think, recommended by Caroline Hirons a couple of years ago. I don't know. And when I was off of my Trafala, I decided to go with this, and I really liked it. It has a scent, a fragrance to it, which I don't mind, but could become a bit heady if it lingered, which it doesn't on me. So it doesn't give me a headache or anything, but this is the kind of scent that would settle here and just pull my brain apart. But it doesn't, it's delightful. It just doesn't linger, it disappears, and it's fine. And it's a very cushiony serum. It's more of a lotiony kind of serum, so it feels quite hydrating and nourishing. It has your vitamin C, so it's great. And it's fine. It's a wonderful serum. As I always say, there is more than one good product in one category out there. So this was really nice. I prefer this one when I'm going a bit drier, so into the winter months. But I still use this when it was warm outside, and it was absolutely fine. It doesn't pill, it doesn't feel oily or heavy, but it has some nourishing factors to it that feel really nice on the skin and call for a little bit more of dryness in my skin to really enjoy that, you know? It was a delightful experience nonetheless. Next up, Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. This is my little happy dance, and this is a dance for Sophia from Scandinavian Affair on Instagram, who sent this to me. Go follow her if you don't, because she's a wonderful, gorgeous human being inside and out, and has amazing suggestions, you know, of niche beauty brands. I love her account. But anyway, thank you for sending this to me. If you watch my 2022 favorites, you know this is a favorite for a reason. I love essences, hydrating essences as a whole. It's a great kind of product. It's so versatile, you know. It can go for people with oily skins to people with very dry skins, which happens to be me and Sophia. Sophia has quite dry skin, and it can work for both just by adjusting the amount of layers that you apply to your skin, or how frequently you apply it and which steps you do that. And this can replace, for me, moisturizer in the summertime if I feel that just using my serum and my sunscreen, for instance, isn't quite enough. I can just add a little bit of this, or I can go with several layers after doing a peeling mask and just slap on several cushiony layers, and it brings so much elasticity and plumpness and some glow to the skin. And it can be used layered under moisturizer. It has as a buffer for your retinoids or something that is a bit more harsher. I really love this kind of product, and this especially, I loved how versatile it was for me, and I love that it has a few antioxidant ingredients in there, which plus, huge plus. Yeah, I can highly recommend this, including for doing skin prep before makeup. During the daytime, my skin prep is my sunscreen. I just have to find sunscreens that work good with makeup and do that kind of dance. But in the evening, if I'm going out, if I want to do something special, this is amazing for prepping a skin. It brings so much hydration and glow without feeling heavy at all. It's amazing. Next up, Skintegra Una, this moisturizer, my friends. I love lots of things from Skintegra, but their moisturizers, the textures are out of this world, and I don't know why isn't anybody raving about them. Maybe because they sent this to nano influencers like me, who don't have a big audience. But if you're wondering, Skintegra has amazing textures, and this specific product, this Una moisturizer, it's a moisturizer for allergy prone skin, super irritated, aggravated skin. It's super soothing, super calming, and as you can imagine, after my laser treatments, this is the one that goes on my skin after cleansing with a Paula's Choice cleansing balm. This is the moisturizer that goes on my skin, and we're done. And it's super calming and soothing. It never stings, never burns, except around my eyes, but that's when I had my eczema. But for that irritation from the lasers, that post-burn almost irritation, it has been amazing. I've used this up. This bottle that you see here was sent to me, but I have repurchased from my own money another one because I can't be without this. And yeah, as I mentioned, especially their moisturizers, the textures are out of this world because they are creamy creams. Most brands have kind of pushed away from those textures. Skintegra just picked up the creamy cream texture and made it lightweight in the sense that it's not greasy, heavy, oily, that an oily person like me would kind of like, oh, that's too much for me. But it still has that creaminess, that lingering feeling that sometimes you want from a moisturizer. You don't always want it to sink in and disappear. At least I don't. When I go for a moisturizer, I want something that feels like a cream. And this is one of those, without feeling, as I said, oily at all. I can't say good enough things about them. The only thing is, I want to try more things from them, but I usually only need one moisturizer in my life, so I have this one. So I'm not buying other ones from the range, and I still want to try them, but I wouldn't be using them. That's my conundrum. Of all things, that's my conundrum. But anyway, loved Skintegra. And finally, two makeup products. Yay! This one is kind of a hybrid. This is the Fresh Sugar Rose. Yes, Rose Lip Balm. This has an SPF 15, I think. This is my third tube of this. I really like it. It's really a thick balm. It has a tint to it. This one is this rosy tint, as you can see. Delightful. I love it. It lingers on the lips. It stays there. I've used this one up till the point where I felt it was turning and I wasn't feeling safe to put this on my lips anymore. But yeah, I've loved these balms for a long time. I'm not repurchasing just because I have so many lip products. And that's something I'm dreading decluttering, to be honest. But that's not the conversation we're having today. I have too many lip products, not many tinted lip balms. This is maybe the only tinted lip balm that I have, apart from my, lip oils and stuff like that. But I haven't repurchased. I really like it. The only thing I don't like is that it tastes slightly chemically because of the SPF filters. So it's not the most pleasant flavor, but it's fine regardless. Next product and last product, I'm just so sad to see, I'm slowly seeing all my Becca products disappearing from my collection. It's kind of like, no. This is the Becca Hydra Mist set and refresh powder, loose powder. I have the travel size or the mini here. In hindsight, I wish I had gotten the big one, the big jar, because this is such a good powder. It is a hybrid between the texture and finish of the Hourglass powder, which is absolutely seamless, untraceable on the skin, and slightly blurring, and it doesn't set on your fine lines. But on the other hand, it has a longer setting power than the Hourglass. It is more stronghold in that sense. It's not mattifying in the drying sense, but it does set your makeup for a longer time. With the Hourglass, if I'm on an oilier day when I don't want my oils to show through my makeup, if I had to do my maintenance with the Hourglass powder, I would have to go every hour or so, which is a huge expense because it's very expensive. But with this one, I would set my makeup and it will last at least half the day before I would go in again. So this is a huge loss because I'm going through my, in the backstage, off camera, I'm going through my loose powder collection because it's something that I use very regularly and that I can use up actually. It's not like eyeshadows. So I've been going through my collection slowly and I haven't found anything that is similar to this. And that's concerning because if I would have to get rid of everything that I have in my collection and just keep one powder, the Becca would be the one. And right now I can't do this because it's been discontinued and Becca no longer exists. But if you have any suggestion of a powder that performs like what I've described, leave it in the comments below because I'm really on the hunt for a setting powder that has that kind of performance. So very undetectable on the skin. I have pores, I have wrinkles, so as seamless as it can be, but with a bit more setting power than the Hourglass, which I adore, but it's not for every day, you know? It's not for all the days. But yeah, quite sad to see Becca go in hindsight. It's one of those brands that I only discovered a bit too late. They didn't have a counter in Portugal for the longest time, and then Sephora had the tiniest display, so it wasn't very inviting. And it was quite expensive, so I was a bit afraid to try it and it all going bad. And then I started slowly buying stuff in sales and stuff like that, and suddenly it was going to be discontinued. But in hindsight, not only the highlighters are iconic, and yes, they may have lost a bit their track then, they could have updated their highlighting formulas a bit, but the luminous blushes, not brushes, the luminous blushes are some of the best blushes I've ever tried, ever. And they have so many good complexion products. Their light shifting foundation is amazing. This powder is amazing. The concealer or corrector is really good. I remember their concealer, the actual luminous skin concealer or whatever it was called, was really good. Although lightweight or not high coverage. So we're missing a very good brand that I haven't seen anything coming up that resembles what they had. So that's interesting. Anyway, this was the video. Rambles gone. This was my video. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, you know, comment, subscribe, like, you know the gist. Come and talk to me at the free.volous on Instagram. I'm not as active as I wish I was, but I can't manage my energy levels when it comes to Instagram, so I just show up, burst into 200 posts, and then I disappear for months. I don't know what to do, but I always go there and I read and I chat to people, so that's it. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Take care, and as usual, thank you for spending your time on me, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!